Look at my track record.
Yeah. It's every guy's a big dog.
Every single fight.
Right.
Every since I became champion, it's been every single guy, and that's just the type of fighter that I am.
Why don't you get the credit for that though?
I think one day when I'm retired and my feet is kicked up, then they'll give me my credit, and then they'll say Devin Haney, he's a real throwback fighter, and that's what I am. And I don't do it for for them to give me my credit, because that's just the type of person that I am. I want to fight the best fighters in the world. I want to test myself against the best, and it's boxing at the end of the day. If I lose, then it is what it is. I want to test myself though.
So on Saturday, November 8th, Devin the Dream Haney steps in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. B Norm the Storm.
Next door.
As you can see, I'm working as I do this. So I wanted to talk about how I don't know if it was after the Ryan Garcia fight or before. I always fall back on me being a casual, and I really don't know. But, I just feel like we got to respect the fact that, the beating he took from Ryan, even though, they took the loss off Haney's record, it's still in the minds of the fans what happened in that fight. And he came back, fought, what was the guy's name? Ramirez, fought, and the fight, people complained that he was running. It looked like he was still, going through the trauma from the Ryan Garcia fight. And, I'm not going to get on here and bash this dude. Anybody who put in the work to get where they're at, like the hard work and discipline it takes to be a boxer, I'm not going to sit and talk shit. I'm, here thinking how, I seen the Ariel Helwani interview where he talks about his record and all the people that he fought, and it makes me think how he jumped up into the 147 welterweight division, and he's taking on another left hooker who's got a lot of power. And it makes me just respect that man, Haney, all the more, for him willing to get in the ring with somebody, and not shy away from the smoke. I think as fans, that's what we want, so it's like, why wish him bad? Why talk shit? Even though Brian Norman, the more I see him on interviews and stuff, it's like, yo, I really like the dude. You know what I'm saying? His personality and, how he carries himself, how he talks, the humility he's been showing in these, interviews. It makes me fucking like conflicted, like, damn, who am I rooting for in this one? But at the end of the day, I want to see a great fight, but I also am slightly rooting for Haney, man, because I just want to see him be able to, get back to, on the top. I feel like after the Ryan fight, he just lost a lot of respect from the fans, and they respect as a fighter. Like they're not giving him his just due anymore, even though he's fought the the Lomas, the the Regis, the the Cambosa. Y'all know his record. I ain't got to sit here and rattle it off. You know what he's done. Yeah, he's not your type of fighter who's got the power and he's knocking people out, but he's a great fighter. Yeah, you might not like his father, but at the end of the day, I just want to be able to see him, bounce back, because it's like we all go through in life some trials where we find ourselves, in a position where it's like, damn, we fucked up. And I know that Ryan fight had to have him, all kinds of, fucked up. And it's like, I'd like to see him get his get back, from Ryan, but also like to start to climb back to the top. I mean, I know it's fucked up because Brian Norman's, he seems to be a really cool dude, and he seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but at the end of the day, someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. I mean, unless it's a fucking draw. We don't want that. We want to see a great fight. And I just hope, Devin is, able to, not let what happened in the Ryan Garcia fight affect him, in this fight. I mean, all of the, the pics and the footage that we've been seeing online, with him prepping for this fight, he looks like he's in, great shape. He looks like he's ready for it, for, a showdown. But, we won't know till that day. I mean, is that the most exciting fight on that card? I mean, you got Bam, you got David, you got Abdullah, but for some reason, that's the Devin Haney and the Brian Norman fight seems to be the one I'm most, looking forward to seeing. I just feel like that fight has more. There's more at stake for, I feel like, Devin Haney. You moving into the welterweight division. This is your first fight. You're going against the, one of the hardest punchers, if not the hardest puncher in the division. So I feel like with the fight that he just won in New York, people really weren't giving him no credit, and so I feel like this fight's he gotta have a good showing. He gotta have a good showing, or the fans is gonna be, back to talking that shit. Back to trying to drag him on the socials, and I just want to see somebody who went through some fucked up shit be able to rise back from that, because I feel like that's how life is, man. It's, valleys, peaks, and I feel like he ready to peak again. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for that, and but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to find out how that one plays out. Yeah, and that's just my thoughts. Casual Speak, thanks for tuning in. If you came back, thanks for coming back. If you subscribed, thank you. If you're not, please subscribe, like, all that shit that, we say to get you guys, on board with us. But yeah.